Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back for Chapter 2, Beginnings of English America, from 1607 to... Say the year, dummy.
1660.
This is Jack Loebner. He is
Hi.
my son. Alright, so Chapter 1 was all about the Spanish. When did Columbus come?
1492.
Sailed the ocean.
Blue.
There you go. Alright, so these are the 13 British colonies. We'll get into that in a little bit. So Queen Elizabeth I, she was a stinky queen. Never bathed her whole life, kind of like this guy.
I only took a bath once.
Yeah, I could tell. She ruled from 1558 to 1603, and she's going to secure the power of the Anglican Church, and she successfully defended England from its Catholic enemies. Ever hear of her sister, Bloody Mary? Say
No.
that in the bathroom. All right.
I've never done it.
The English are going to expel the Irish Catholics from land to make room for more Protestant settlements, which they called plantations. And this cultural practice and idea defined England's colonization of Ireland, and it's also going to shape the way they conquer the Native Americans. So they don't have much respect for the Irish or the Native Americans. So why is England exploring? They want to get national glory, right? And
Yeah.
profit, and doing it for...
Religious missions.
So for God. So it's okay to kill the natives because it's for...
Ah!
Exactly. So they want to spread Protestantism. England viewed Catholic Spain as evil and tyrannical, and they saw their empire as a very different empire of freedom. And they saw North America as a place of abundance, which can give them plenty of raw materials and set up trade with the mother country. All right. So it's risky to go to the New World, right?
Yep.
There's lots of diseases
Yep.
and fighting and wars. Some people that came were indentured servants, so they're going to be slaves, but
Yep.
just temporarily.
Yeah, for like 47 years.
Or 7 to 9 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Well done. You should be a history teacher.
I thought it was just like 47
That'd be a long time. You'd be dead by the time your contract's up. Anyway, what's going to be a much easier way a couple years down the road? Instead of having indentured servants, they just had...
Slaves.
There you go. At least you got that one right. All right. Here is an indentured contract. Doesn't say 47 years anywhere, buddy. All right, you're the Jamestown expert?
No, I said 4 to 7 years.
Oh, my bad. Okay, tell me about Jamestown.
Okay. Jamestown, the Virginia Company, their goal was to make Jamestown the first successful permanent colony in America, and they did it. Hooray!
Tell me more.
It's in Jamestown, Virginia, and the reason their success was the tobacco, which Dad will get to that later.
Yeah. What about all the gold they found?
Yep, there's gold.
No, it was a trick question, silly.
Oh,
There
I
was
don't-
no gold. They were looking for gold.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy. They've taught you nothing in elementary school.
No, I found this out while researching.
Okay. Interestingly, the House of Burgesses was created the very same year the first African slaves arrived. So we set up democracy in 1619 while simultaneously creating this institution of slavery. You talk about that at recess tomorrow. Okay, then. This is the Chesapeake region, and here is Jamestown, Virginia, right here.
Yep, there's the Jamestown River.
Chesapeake Bay. Oh, yeah. Road trip. All right, tell me about Pocahontas.
Pocahontas was a daughter of a Native American king named Powhatan, and he was going to kill John Smith until Pocahontas saved him.
Okay. Was it weird for John Smith to see her and like, wow, she looks like a cartoon?
Yeah.
Yeah, figured. All right. 1622, so this is some years after Jamestown. Powhatan's successor is going to wipe out 25% of the settlers, and the Jamestown survivors are going to retaliate by massacring Indians and destroying villages.
Oh yeah. He sent all his warriors to attack Jamestown,
Ah, interesting.
and so they rebuilt it after the destruction of chaos.
But eventually, Jamestown will become profitable once they discover tobacco and get everybody hooked on smoking. Maryland's also a tobacco colony, founded in 1632, and it was supposed to be a colony where all rights and privileges of Englishmen were respected. but we'll see lots of tensions between Catholics and Protestants. Okay. You ever hear of the Puritans? Puritanism?
Yep.
That's going to shape early New England. These were English Protestants who were united by a belief that the Anglican Church was just a little too similar to the Catholic Church. And they rejected the religious authority of the archbishops and the bishops and the priests and, of course, the Pope. And they embraced the idea where you choose your own mode of worship and you personally study the Bible and you get to choose your own clergy as well. So 80,000 English will leave England between 1620 and 1640. Ever hear of John Winthrop?
I heard his name, but I don't really have like a lot of information.
Well,
about
you're
him.
about to. So he helped find a city set upon a hill where Puritans would reject natural liberty or action without restraints for a moral liberty where you can only do what is good. And so Puritans became free by accepting these severe restraints on your speech, your religion, and your personal behavior because it's a ticket to where?
Heaven.
Yeah. 1641, the General Court issued the Body of Liberties, which defined the rights and responsibilities of the colonists. And inequality was seen as an expression of God's will. So they had separate lists of rights for freemen and women and children and servants, and they even allowed slavery. And the church and state were closely intertwined. Okay, today do we have separation of church and the government?
Mm-hmm.
We do.
Oh,
That's
we do?
right. Good
Oh.
job.
Wah, wah.
You ever hear of Roger Williams?
I think so.
That's a no. All right. He suggested that Massachusetts should have separate church from the government, and he got banished from the colony. So where did he go?
Oh yeah, he's the guy who founded Rhode Island.
There you go.
Yeah,
buddy.
and Massachusetts only what was the religious group there?
Use your words, Puritans.
Puritans, yeah. They kicked him out.
Yep.
So he founded Rhode Island, so people can come and have any religion.
Mm-hmm.
In school, I did a poster, and we had to just catchy slogan. And we were doing Rhode Island is free for all.
Wow, I bet it sucked.
It was awesome.
Yeah. All right. So there's Connecticut and Rhode Island underneath Massachusetts. Anne Hutchinson's another person that was banished and found religious freedom. Ever hear of the Pequot War?
No.
So in 1637, the colonists responded because a fur trader was murdered by a couple members of the Pequots. So they did the right thing. They went and massacred 500 men, women, and children, all innocent people. That
Two
makes
wrongs
sense.
make a right.
Exactly. But unfortunately, this is just going to destroy the Pequots. It's going to lead to further white settlement, and some people think that the real reason they celebrated Thanksgiving was to celebrate the fact that the Native Americans had just been wiped out. A little different than what they teach you in school, huh?
Yeah.
I know. Meanwhile, over in England, they had a civil war. What's a civil war?
It's where one country fights itself. Yeah.
Good job. All right.
So it was in the Civil War with Spain.
No, this is England's
Oh,
Civil
no.
War. But
Oh.
Spain had one too,
Yeah.
later on. So most New Englanders sided with Parliament in the 1640s when the Civil War was happening. And many Puritans were leery of the tolerance for religious dissent. And in Maryland, the Civil War exasperated the pre-existing conflict between Catholic and Protestant settlers. Bet you didn't know that. So religious toleration later will be guaranteed for all Christians. And Cromwell, Oliver Cromwell, all right, he's going to turn England from a monarchy to a dictatorship. He had aggressive policies to expand the colonies, commerce, promote Protestantism, and his army's going to go through Ireland and just massacre civilians.
No, the leprechauns.
All right.
The poor
So
little
that
leprechauns.
will conclude Chapter 2. So we'll get to more colonial stuff in Chapter 3. Say goodbye, Jack.
No. Goodbye.